Episode 13 of Dusting Off the Ropes is happening right now, ladies and gents. I am feeling better. I know on Instagram I was saying I wasn't feeling well over the weekend, but I'm feeling a lot better, and it's time to finally have this interview. So let's not waste any more time, folks, as I want to introduce my guest for this episode of Dusting Off the Ropes, none other than the manager of Kane Industries, Silky Smooth. Silky, how are you doing?
Ryan Dust, how are you? Finally got connected.
Finally. We had to delay a little bit, but we are finally having it now. People want to hear Silky Smooth speak.
Oh, there's nothing I like better than the sound of my own voice, so here we go.
This is perfect then. This is perfect, because after the episode, you could rewatch and rewatch and rewatch just to hear your own voice.
No, I'm not. You don't pad your likes. There's certain other people I know that pad their likes. You can't pad your own likes. That's okay. Unethical.
Okay. Alrighty. We have a comment here. And it's dudes at ringside. They do not like you, Silky. A lot of people don't like you, Silky. I've noticed that.
And they also can't spell my name correctly, so boo your spelling.
Ooh.
Silky is like a cloth, like, a feeling. Silky, I'm not even getting into it.
Yeah, that's like a whole lecture right there.
I'm not getting into grammar and spelling with those guys. I'd rather beat my head against the wall.
All right, Silky, are you ready to get this interview started?
I'm ready. I've been ready.
Alrighty, here we go. Silky, you have been managing for Victory Pro Wrestling for a little bit of time now, since before the pandemic, which I really don't want to even mention the pandemic, but...
No, don't do that. Don't put that out in the universe.
Yeah, but you've been managing at VPW for a little bit of time now. Have even been the manager of former Victory Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions. So I want to know, what made you want to be a manager in Victory Pro Wrestling?
All right. Well, back in the day, before you were born, obviously I'm a little older than you, I did briefly wrestle. I trained back in the day, had a few matches. Then life happened, and I kept saying I'd get back to it. And then I did train briefly at Creative Pro, 2017, late 2017, early 2018. It wasn't there very long. But, I'm a little older now, a little slower. So not that I still couldn't have a match if VPW needed me to slap on my and get in there. But I felt the time to, a little older, a little wiser, a little more mature. I know that's hard to believe. But maybe I could, I segued into managing. I felt that, that was something I could do.
You definitely have the voice when it comes to managing. When you think of managers, you really think of the voice. Paul Heyman, Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart. When you think of those guys, you think of a good voice, and you definitely have that voice. I would say the voice of VPW. And
I would say that too.
Well, of course you would say that. But I did not know that you used to train, and I did not know you even were a wrestler. A
lot of people don't know that, because if you blinked, you missed me. I had a handful of matches back in the day. Like I said, I trained at Creative Pro briefly, maybe 6 months or so, once or twice a week. A few of the guys remember, if it was before a few of their time. It just didn't work out. Life happens, things happen. And like I said, I segued into managing. I had my opportunity. Unfortunately, we all know who gave me my shot, Alvin Alvarez. And it worked out. It just worked out in the end. And I'm having a blast. I actually enjoy. I actually consider Adam Kane a good friend. I'm getting to know the other guys. I've known Percy Ryan for years. And I feel we have good chemistry.
This is a bonus question now, because I did not know you were a wrestler. If you could wrestle one more match against anybody on the VPW roster, who would you choose and why?
That's a very good question. You caught me off guard for a second, because I'm used to Papa Dank's questions. I would give it It if it could not, I honestly it should be Alvin Alvarez because he has physically abused me quite a bit over the last year or so. But if they asked me to step in the ring with Brother Greatness, I do owe him one upside the head.
Brother Greatness, wow. He definitely has been stepping up and definitely been putting on a show. So I think I think definitely that could be a match.
As cliche as this sounds, he rang my bell. And I would like nothing better than to return the favor.
Maybe we'll see that
one match, VPW comes to me and says, all right, you've been complaining for years. One match, who do you want? It would have to be Alvin. I owe Alvin the beatings back that he's been giving me.
The history is there.
Yes,
the only question is, will the future show up? We'll see somewhere down the road, maybe.
It's a possibility. Stranger things. It's wrestling. Strange things happen on a daily basis.
Definitely, it's anything can happen in the professional wrestling world. Anything could happen. It's so interesting of seeing so much things. People say this will never happen, and then it hains.
Exactly. Like you never say never.
People didn't think Edge would ever, come back and wrestle again. Look at him. He's like almost better than ever. The best shape of his life.
I didn't have an injury like that. I just, like I said, life happened. I was like, I'll get back to it. And then next thing you know, never happened. So, but who knows? I could show up there's a lot of training facilities on Long Island.
There is.
Know. And I would, as much as I like to run my mouth on social media, if I was training or did start training again, no one would know because I wouldn't let it. I would keep that to myself.
You would do
something. Sometimes you have to play your cards closer to your chest.
Fair. That definitely. Before I bring up this comment, I'm sorry. What do you mean, Dank? Bait? I don't get it.
What does that mean?
I don't even know what oat milk is.
What's oat milk?
I do not know.
You get milk from an oak tree? See, this is ridiculous. And he's a lifelong wrestling fan. Obviously, I'm not. I can't see.
I can't.
This is why if you notice that the one episode that we of Kane Industries did on whatever the hell his name of his show is, it only lasted about 6-7 minutes because we just couldn't stand there and sit there any longer than that because of ridiculous statements like that.
Gangone did flip the table. He did.
That was great.
It was. Sorry, Dank. It was. Anyways, going back with the just being silky smooth, the questions. When you first showed up in VPW, of course, you were with the Absolute brand, but I want to know, with going where you're at today, do you feel like this silky smooth character is the character that you envisioned to be? Like, could you say that when you first started up with this managing thing, do you feel like this is what you envisioned to be where you're at right now?
I feel I've grown. I feel that in the beginning I was a little unsure of myself, because I've never done it before. I feel I've grown into my role. There's also room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. But I feel like I represent myself and the guys I manage and women I manage in a good way. I feel that everything is coming together.
It definitely is. I've seen the improvement with the mic, and people when people can talk back to you, you're in their head, and you just keep getting to more and more people's head.
If you remember correctly, because you've been coming to VPW for years, I was Alvin's manager, and he rarely, if ever, let me speak. I just kind of stood there. So I didn't have a chance for growth or improvement because I was rarely allowed to say anything at all.
People just knew you.
Me and Andre were really just in the background while, he did most of the talking. I got a little mic time here and there. Yeah. For the most part, I didn't get to speak. Now that I get to speak on a regular basis, I feel I'm getting far better at promoting myself and the people I manage.
When you first started out, people were just like, "This is just a man with a blue suit, hat,
Yeah, I never really
and a
had
cane."
anything to say. I never had the chance to say anything, and
And that,
I'm sure people are regretting that I get the mic now. But that's
yeah,
what I do.
people are now. Back then, they were like, "This is just a guy with a cane." Now it's like
Yeah,
that's Silky Smooth. He could
exactly.
talk on the mic. He has,
Yep.
if he once he grabs that microphone, people are done. People are going to be have just screaming at you because you're
Yeah,
in their heads.
exactly.
It's I've seen the progression. I've been in VPW since 2016. I rarely miss a show. So
That's true. That's true.
I was there the first night you were at VPW. And
You need to find a better section to sit in at the shows, though. The section you sit in is a little, suspect.
I need my own
You need your own section, maybe your own table, maybe a dusting off the ropes table.
oh.
See what I did there? See what little
Yes.
spark I put in there?
Yes, you did.
Fire?
You did just ignite a spark a little bit.
Yep.
Well, that's what you do. You ignite
That's what I do.
sparks. That's what you do. So next question. Where again, I just want to know, and we're actually going to get into this a little later. So just be oh wait, I can do that. So let me add this to the screen. You're right there. You can see Giant Andre. I don't know if you can see it yet, but because sometimes
I can see it.
Okay, you can see yourself in the left
Yep.
side of the screen as a security guard. It looks like.
Yep.
Going from where you were at that point, did you think you would be where you're at today? Like, did you think you would actually be managing and being one of the top managers in VPW history?
I had the germ of the idea in my head, and I just had to know who to approach. I was actually approached by someone who used to work for VPW, and I was like, absolutely, I'll do it. And it just took off from there. Like I said, I do have to I owe that to Alvin, because we did it the one time, and they asked him, would you like to continue with him as your manager? And he did say yes, and let's do this. So I do owe him that. I can't lie. All the feuding and the throwing different people at him to try to get back at him thing aside, I do owe him that, because he could have shut it down after one time.
He had that opportunity.
I do, as much as it makes me sick to say it, I do owe him a debt of gratitude.
He basically made Silky Smooth somebody.
Well, he gave me the opportunity. I'd like to say there's parts of my own personality in there. Silky Smooth is really how I am once I get to know people and have had a couple of drinks in me. It's different aspects to everybody's personality, and that's one of mine.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry. I just had dinner. Brandon Tanker. When does Silky shave?
Again, no comment.
Brandon, go to the bathroom and fix your hair like you do every 20 minutes. He's obsessed with his hair. I'll say that.
Well, someone has to be.
All right. So next question. With you being a manager at VPW, of course, you're the guy on the mic that basically gets into everybody's heads. But sometimes the fans do say something back. Especially with you getting into people's heads and people basically lashing back out at you. How do you not let them get to you? Is there a way? Do you just ignore them? Do you also, I know you're very good at also lashing back at them, of coming with a comeback. So I just want to know.
I am pretty quick on the comeback. Occasionally someone will, catch me off guard, but to be perfectly honest, I really don't care about what 90-something% of the people in that crowd think of me. I don't care. And you can't let people, you cannot let, in any aspect of life, work, school, the shows, if people get under your skin, then your mood, your night, everything is ruined. So you want to curse at me, to throw, a couple of people have thrown things at me. Fantastic. I know that I'm doing my job because I'm getting under your skin.
I agree. I mean, it's
And they don't come up with anything really good. It's like, I smell like money and success. You suck. So does your mother. I've got, there are a few fans. If you listen real closely, every member of Kane Industries and myself do have some cheers out there. There are people who appreciate the fact of the things we do in that ring.
well, I can say
Adam Kane, Gangone, Percy Ryan, especially Percy Ryan, because there's a few young ladies in the crowd that kind of lose themselves when he comes out, and KJ, this King of Scots. We all have our fans. The majority of people don't like us, which is great because we don't like the majority of them.
fair. I mean, you basically Kane Industries is looking for one goal right now, and when I say goal, I should mean gold, as you guys are
Yep.
looking for gold.
We have our eyes on the disorderly conduct. The card has not been announced, but I'm guessing that every title will be on the line, and we are watching everybody.
Well,
We are keeping our eyes on everybody.
Well, right now, Desmond Cole is looking. Johnny Collins is looking at Desmond Cole for the New York State title. Mike Anthony is looking at the Victory Pro Wrestling Championship, but the tag team championships seems like the Emma Stevens got their shot and unfortunately failed.
It's getting time for another tag team to get a shot, and we have Anthony Gangone and Percy Ryan have already scored a victory in their one match together. Adam Kane and Anthony Gangone are the best of friends that can easily tag up. Percy and KJ, both experienced. If I had to tag them up, I think we could. I think we can mix and match anybody who we can and just go after those tag team straps.
It's like the New Day. No matter who you put together, they will get the job done.
Without the goofy antics and the pancakes, yes.
Without the goofy antics and the unicorns and the bootios and geez, I remember bootios.
No.
that was something back in the day. I remember.
Yeah.
They sold that as a cereal, and I was like, I should get my hands on those, but I was like, I can't find it anywhere. I just wanted to see what it tasted like. Did it like people say it tastes like Lucky Charms? And I was like, you know what, I want to taste it, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
That's funny.
But yeah, so the VPW championship is VPW Tag Team Championships are looking open. Also, what it looks like is the VPW Women's Championship is looking open right now, as Gabby Gilbert did not pick up the W at Gold Rush Rumble against Valentina Vasquez, so there is still
as of right now, I still manage Karen Bam Bam. So Valentina, I wasn't thrilled with her because she did take the belt from her, but she has been impressive. She's had that belt for a while now, and no one has come close. Gabby did not come close to taking that belt.
Mistake me if I'm wrong, but didn't the reason why Karen lost the title is because of Anastasia Morningstar?
That's exactly why, for an outside distraction.
So if there's no outside distraction, we might see a new champ. If, of course, Karen decides to come back.
All champions, everybody knows this, she has not gotten her return match. All champions get a return match. So who knows if that happens down the line or not.
Who knows? We might see it. We might not.
We might see it.
Again,
we might not.
The future
like I said, you got to keep. You can't just tell everybody everything. You got to keep some stuff to yourself.
It's like what we said before. It's like anything can happen in professional wrestling. We could see Karen Bam Bam come back one day and challenge Valentina.
Absolutely.
Okay. First of all, Brandon, you spelled Silky wrong, just like the dudes at ringside. Second of all, I have no idea what this rumor is.
I see the comment, and it's not worth my time to answer it.
And dudes at ringside says they're Team Alvin.
You know, you know what? I'll gladly put up with the ridiculously immature comments. It means you get views for putting on your episode. So there you go.
Thank you, people.
There you go, guys. Good job.
But speaking of that, thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the views, jackasses.
So anyway, I was seeing you drink a mug over there. Is that the Silky Smooth mug?
Well, shameless plug time. Silky Smooth coffee mug on victoryprowrestling.com. Check it out. If you don't like me, that's great. You don't have to like me. There's a lot of guys on that site. They all sell coffee mugs, t-shirts. I know everybody in Kane Industries is on prowrestlingtees.com. I'm not yet. I'm working on a design. But you can get your very own Silky Smooth coffee mug at victoryprowrestling.com. Shameless plug time. You're welcome, VPW.
If Phil Cardigan, man, if Phil Cardigan goes into Kane Industries, maybe you guys can do a collaboration with the mugs. Maybe get one of Phil's.
See, my coffee's usually spiked. I don't know if Cardigan goes that route.
He puts a lot of sugar. I know that.
It's not sugar that's in my coffee.
Okay. All right.
Thanks to KJ, the King of Scots. There might be some Scottish whiskey in here. You don't know.
Whatever works.
Whatever works, exactly.
Whatever works. All right. So now we're gonna get to the picture round. If people in the chat or Silky, Silky, I think you said you know what the picture round is, but I'll just explain it for people who don't know. The picture round is I will show you a few pictures of superstars, and I just want to get your initial thoughts on them. It could be one word, it could be a whole statement about them.
Okay.
So here we go. So let's start off. We showed this picture before. The Giant Andre.
Missed opportunities. I miss Dre being around. I liked him. He was a nice guy, and we never got to see him work a match with Alvin. And I for one, obviously for obvious reasons, wanted to see that, and it just never happened. And it's actually kind of sad because I think it would have been a good match. We would have won, but it would have been a good match.
It definitely would have. I think the rivalry was getting to that point where if they had a match, it would be a bang.
It would be there's not going to be a lot of technical moves in that match. It was going to be a hard hitting match. I still say you don't need flips and everything to have a great wrestling match. I still go to Walter versus, well, now he's Gunther, but Walter versus I don't know his first name, but Dragunov at NXT TakeOver 2. Good point.
Their second encounter. No flips, just fists. That was the revival. It was the revival thing. But no flips, just fists. Just great submission, great just moves that doesn't involve flipping. It was awesome. You don't need flips.
This would have been a good match. Andre is 6'8", close to 300, and Alvin's obviously shorter, but he's about 280, and he's solid and strong as a bull. That would have been something. You would have heard a lot of leather being slapped in that match.
It's height versus strength.
Yep.
I'm telling you, that would have been something. And I'm hoping
it's a shame that I mean, I'm not saying it will never happen, but it's looking like it won't.
I hope it happens. I really hope it happens. I was thinking after a couple months after I didn't see him, I was like, where's Andre? I was like we never had the match. They never had the match.
No, unfortunately, never happened.
Alrighty, so next one, I think we know what you're gonna say, but
on the Boss, man, come on. You watch him from back when he started in VPW till now. He's slimmer. His moves are crisper. If you watch a match of Brother Greatness, he hit him with a right hand. It was just a beautiful punch. He's got a lot of talent, and I can't wait to see what happens with us in the future.
I can't wait either, because this guy, I've seen.
I feel he's underrated. He knows he's underrated, and he's got something to prove. I've got something to prove. There were a lot of managers that came before me in VPW. I want to go down in VPW history as the best manager that they've ever seen, and Adam Kane is going to help me do that.
Well, so far you're definitely up there.
I'm up there. I'm not the best yet, but we'll go top 5.
You do have.
I'm the best looking manager they've ever had. But I've got a ways to go.
You do have
championship belts under my belt.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say that you do have the VPW Tag Team Championship. You're the manager of the VPW Tag Team Champions. If Adam Kane wins the VPW Championship, the New York State Championship, that just adds more and more to not just his resume. Is that what it's called? But
resume.
Your resume. I've heard resume.
You were going for either resume or repertoire, and you did some kind of Latin.
I think it was repertoire. I think it was repertoire. Then let me go with resume. I always
there we go.
It not just goes to his resume, but your resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody who wins a championship in Kane Industries not only goes to their resume, but also your resume. Just like with the Absolute brand, it went to their resume, but also went to your resume.
Absolutely.
It goes to everybody's resume.
No pun intended.
Alrighty, and here is the last one. This now, again, I do want to say, with Adam Kane, you guys are looking for some gold. He's the champ right now.
Jack is a very talented young man. I can't take that away from him. But Mike Anthony is in his head. And I'm not pulling, oh, he's crazy. He's intense. He's focused. There's nothing crazy about what Mike is doing. Mike wants that gold. And if he takes it from Jack, and I don't want to, I actually like Mike, but Kane Industries needs gold. And if Jack does get past Mike, he's going to be in no shape for an onslaught of 3 or 4 guys coming at him. Plus, everybody else on the roster is after him. So he's already banged up. Let's see what happens, the next time Mike Anthony gets his hands on him.
Definitely. And now this is another question. Who would you rather, if Adam Kane or anybody of Kane Industries, but let's go with Adam Kane.
Okay.
Because he's the boss.
He's the boss.
Who would you rather want him to face for the VPW Championship? Jack Tomlinson or Mike Anthony?
Good question. Honestly, Jack, because he's way more beat up from all his title defenses than Mike would be at this point.
Well, let's just go with if both were at 100%. Let's go with that. 100%. Both are well rested. Both are ready to go, ready to fight, ready to defend their championship. Who would you want, Jack or Mike?
Honestly, I think I'd rather Adam go against Jack. Jack's been a champion for a while. And if you took the strap off of Jack, I think people would respect him a little bit more than if you took it off Mike.
Yeah, it seems like people do respect Jack more than Mike. So if Adam can
Mike gets disrespected a lot. If you listen to the people yelling at him, he gets a lot of disrespect, and he doesn't deserve it.
But he lashes out at them. And
good for him.
It's not his fault. I mean, people are calling him crazy. He doesn't want to be called crazy. He's not crazy.
He's not crazy. I don't think he's crazy. I think, like I said, he's intense and he's focused. He's far more focused than when he first came to VPW.
Definitely. He has definitely grown.
He's definitely grown as a wrestler. The talent, you can see the talent.
I definitely can. And he is doing very well right now. Just won the Gold Rush Rumble. But with going back to either Jack or Mike, people have a lot of respect for Jack. So if Adam does take away the championship from Jack, not only will he take away the championship, he basically took away the respect.
He's going to have to we're going to have to force people to respect us singly and as a group.
Because basically, Jack's like everybody's hero almost. He called a Jack Pack and everything. People admire Jack. It's basically like if Superman lost. People love Superman. If they saw Superman lose, they'd be like, well, he lost. He's not strong.
If that's the analogy we're going with, then we're the Legion of Doom, baby.
Ooh, that's a good comparison. Legion of Doom. Great tag team.
No, not the tag team. You use the Superman analogy. I'm talking Lex Luthor, the Riddler, Brainiac, the Legion of Doom.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
by mistake.
That's all
When I
right.
think Legion of Doom, I think Animal and Hawk. I was like that. Cause my dad always said, "Oh, the Legion of Doom are the greatest tag team of all time." I'm like, well, I did not see them.
They were definitely one of the greatest tag teams ever, no doubt.
I definitely got to see some of their matches. I definitely do.
Don't watch WWF stuff. Watch mid '80s NWA if you really want to see their best stuff.
Well, if the WWE Network was still around, or I'll just
Yeah,
go to
there's probably a lot of it. There's some of it on there. Yeah,
I'll go to England.
Anything with Hawk and Animal versus the Horsemen, Hawk and Animal versus Midnight Express. Those are matches you should definitely watch.
I'll definitely try to get that out. I need to do some research. I definitely need to watch some matches, because if you're saying they're great, one of the greatest, if my dad's saying they're one of the greatest, then I definitely gotta watch some of their matches.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and I think that is it for the picture round. So we're gonna get to fan questions now. That's right, people have asked questions for Silky Smooth. I have them right here. So here we go. This guy actually wanted to ask you a question. You might have known it. He was the VPW ring announcer, the Rob Express. He has asked, why does Silky wear a blazer that looks like a rug from the 70s?
See, this is what I'm talking about. And the funny thing is, I think Rob Express is a very good ring announcer. He's very good at his job. I'll give him that. But that's just a ridiculous question. I'm not even going to answer it. Those jackets cost a lot of money. A lot of money. And the fact that they're from the 70s, they're not. They're from the 2000s, and they cost a lot of money. Thank you, though, Rob, for the time it took you to send out that question. We appreciate that.
They do look expensive. The shine, it's like
well, Adam, like I said, Adam Kane's the boss, and he's not shy about spreading the wealth.
Well, maybe share some of that wealth with me. The dudes at ringside have just said dates. Can we just? I almost feel like this is like a drinking game. Have a shot every time somebody spells your name wrong.
It's fine. Technically, my name is Tony Silky Smooth, but Silky is still not the way to spell it.
Tony.
What's their question?
Silky is they didn't ask a question. It said Silky is the greatest manager in the Long Island area, or manager.
I can't really argue with that. I'm kind of shocked that the dudes at ringside came up with that, such a smart comment. I'm actually kind of impressed.
Well,
I can't argue with that.
Well, we just went from smart to, but still a snake. Yeah, you might want to. Are you going to revoke your comment?
A snake. That's cool. A snake. Am I a snake, or do I own a snake? What does that say? But still a snake. Oh, okay.
I think they're saying you're the greatest manager, but you're still a snake.
Oh, okay. Know what else I am? You know what else I am? Views and money, which you guys will never see with comments like that.
Oh, damn. I can't say anything about that. Well, this question now makes sense. Because I was going to say, I didn't think you were a professional wrestler, but speaking of Dudes at Ringside, Ghostbuster Joe, a.k.a. Joe Panther III from Dudes at Ringside, asked, who trained you?
Back in the day, I trained with Al Snow for about a year. And then, obviously, at Creative Pro, there was several people. I trained with Brian Myers, Kurt Hawkins for the uneducated. I spent a little time in the ring with BSK, a couple of times with Max Caster. There was a lot of people that helped me. It's a very, very good school. Like, I was only there for about, on and off for about 6 months, and I actually showed improvement. And they're just great. They're a great school. I'm another shameless plug. If you're young, at any age too, because there were several guys that were my age when I was there. Anybody there were several schools on Long Island. If you're really serious about being a wrestler, you should really check out their next open house. Because Brian's a great trainer, Pat Buck is a great trainer. Look at everything they've produced. Look at Caster. Look at MJF. Look at Bryce. Look at Chris Statlander. Like you cannot deny that Creative Pro puts people out there that are successful. And if you really are serious about becoming a wrestler, you should really check them out.
I 100% agree.
Do not fuck with Pat Buck. He is not one to mess with though. He's a good dude, but he is not. Don't mess with him. Don't piss him off.
But I 100% agree with that statement. It's the place I want to go to. I want to, if it's to be a wrestler, if it's to even be a ring announcer, something like that. I think they train with like anybody. Like if you want to be a ring announcer, they'll help you. You want to be a wrestler, of course they'll help you. It's such a good school. And again, with the talent that has come out of Creative Pro is just astonishing. Even guys like VSK, he's appeared on AEW recently. Well, now he's Jeeves.
AEW, Impact, NWA. Yeah, he's all over the place.
He's been like, how many guys can you say have been on WWE television, AEW television, Impact television, NWA television? How many people can you say have done all that?
He wrestled Ricky Morton, who was one of the biggest names in the NWA ever, on an NWA show recently. You can't get better than that. That must have been such a thrill.
He's wrestled some of the best wrestlers in the world. He's wrestled some of the best wrestlers of all time. He just this for PWI's 500 2022. He came up in the 400s.
Yes, he did.
Which congrats to him. It's the hard work has shown, and I'm glad that he's shown up on AEW.
Me too.
I'm glad, and he just puts on some of the greatest matches. I still say to this day, one of the greatest matches I've ever seen at VPW was him versus Chris Statlander. Such a great match.
That was a very good match. He is somebody you should get on your show.
I have definitely contacted him, and I think we're working something out. Hopefully, not confirmed or anything, but I'm trying. Okay. I am trying. But Brandon has a question. Tony Snow, jeez, Tony, could you get? I don't even know if I'm gonna finish that.
What does that say?
Could you get sturdy for us?
I can't with these guys. I just can't.
I can't either right now.
I thought they're trying to have their own a serious podcast and promote themselves, and they're promoting themselves as making a mockery of everything. It's not really fair to your show that they feel the need to do that. If they have a serious question, that's great, or a serious statement, even anything that's great. But if it was the script was flipped and people were doing that on their show, I don't think they'd appreciate it. But whatever. More power to you guys.
Alrighty, let's get to.
You could skip a show every once in a VPW show every once in a while. No one would miss you, but that's another story for another day.
Wow. Oh, okay. Let's get to the fun portion of the episode, where it is trivia. Oh yes, trivia. 13th episode of trivia. So Silky, I'm gonna ask you 5 questions.
And if I get all 5 wrong, I don't want to hear it.
So far, nobody's gotten 5 wrong, and I don't think you'll get all 5 wrong. Considering it goes from easiest to hardest. So if you get the easiest one wrong.
Yeah, you never know. Like I said, I may or may not have been drinking.
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You shouldn't get it all wrong. All right. So far, I always say this before we start. The only episode to ever get 5 out of 5 correct was the Even Stevens episode, and I say they are the Dusting Off the Ropes Tag Team Trivia Champions.
Who got them right? It was Azure, right? Azure got them all right?
Well, I asked Azure 1 question separately, I asked Somerset 1 question separately, and then I asked the 3 hardest questions they can work together.
That's not fair. I don't have a lifeline. They had each other. That's not fair.
Well, I asked them some very hard questions. If you want to see the question, but this is why whoever, if a person who only one person on an episode, they're their own champion. That's what I
Fair.
say. That's
Fair.
what I say.
Let's
So
go for it.
here we go. So first question. So let me. When I wrote this question, I realized you wore two different colors. But in the Gold Rush Rumble itself, what color suit did you wear that actually you debuted?
Gold.
That is correct. It is gold. You debuted.
Which you will not see that suit again until a member of Kane Industries wins a gold belt. It's going to or the next Gold Rush Rumble. It symbolizes something.
It definitely. Well, of course it symbolizes the Gold Rush Rumble, but also it's championship gold. I mean, gold.
Gold.
And what is gold? Money.
Absolutely.
All right. So number 2. Yeah, I really want you to focus in on this question because this is a true or false question.
Oh.
So 50-50 shot. At the Gold Rush Rumble, there was 3 members of Kane Industries that entered the Gold Rush Rumble that actually they entered one by one. It didn't enter like one was this number, then 5 numbers later. It was one number, then the next person was member of Kane Industries, and then the next person was member of Kane Industries. So the first person of Kane Industries to enter the Gold Rush Rumble was KJ Mack. The next person was Adam Kane, and then the final person was Percy Ryan. True or false?
False. Adam went in first.
That is correct. Adam did enter first, then it was KJ Mack, then it was Percy Ryan, which I thought it was the greatest entrance in the Gold Rush Rumble of Percy Ryan.
I feel the same way. That was great. Because we were still celebrating his victory over Alvin. And I figured we could save a little of his energy if I carried him.
That was awesome. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Our newest photographer. She caught a fantastic picture of me carrying Percy on my back. I'll post it soon.
You gotta definitely post it. I thought me and my friend were just like, this is awesome. I was like, nobody, dude. That rings. Not even gonna. I'll do that after. All right. For the 3rd, 4th, and 5th question, since this is the hardest question, and by the way, I again, we need to see the picture, but it was awesome entrance. Awesome entrance. I loved it. Me and my friend were just laughing. 3rd and 4th question, 3rd, 4th, and 5th question. I'm going to ask you these questions. These are the 3 hardest questions. For these questions, you could say as many answers as you want, but once you have your final answer, I will ask you, is that your final answer? And if you want to lock it in, you will, you just say yes. It's basically like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Okay.
So at Blood, Sweat, and 16 Years, who did Alvin Alvarez face?
Oh, man. I'm terrible at these. I want to say Dr. Cool. It was either Dr. Cool or Anthony Gangone. Those are my answers.
No, you can only pick one.
Well, then I'm going to go with Dr. Cool.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You have picked right. It was Dr. Cool. I think that was the only appearance of Dr. Cool teaming up, signing with you.
That's a shame too. But you know what? Him and Pat Fitzpatrick are doing great together. The School of Cool is great. I really enjoy watching them.
They're definitely, and I think their future tag team champions.
I had a blast managing him that one time.
Dr. Cool has definitely shown so much of what he could do in that ring. And
absolutely,
what he could do. Yes. I love. Have you seen his YouTube channel with the episodes?
I have seen some of them. Yes,
some of the greatest shit you'll ever see. It's awesome.
Him on Dr. Cool on Tinder is something to that episode is something to watch.
He puts out the greatest content. The whole thing with him, Mike Anthony, Dante, Phil. It was awesome. I think nobody can disagree with this one. That Dr. Cool, we need a second series of this.
Absolutely. Oh yes, we do.
It made my days. It was awesome. So here we go. 4th question. Usually, Well, no, I shouldn't say usually, since I'm going to be asking this question. On Dusting Out the Ropes, I like to ask one WWE question.
Oh God. Okay.
But with Survivor Series coming up, until Survivor Series happens, I'm going to be asking Survivor Series questions.
Okay.
So here we go. Survivor Series 2009.
Ugh.
This superstar was the sole survivor in the men's Survivor Series match, and there was only one men's Survivor Series match. Because I know sometimes they have two.
Yeah, I miss the old days where they were all Survivor Series matches. 2009. Let's go with Randy Orton.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was actually two men's Money in the there was two of them, but if you could think of which one, this team versus this team. This I might have just accidentally screwed up on the question. So I'll give you the teams. It was okay. I'll actually rephrase the question. I will rephrase the question. With Team Kofi Kingston versus Team Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston did something that was very cool and very what's the word? Like, very awesome to see. He eliminated two competitors in 5 seconds. And with those two eliminations, he became the sole survivor. So the answer to the question was Kofi Kingston. But with this rephrase of the question, he eliminated Randy Orton and what other WWE superstar to win the Survivor Series match?
The Miz?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect. It was the man who calls himself the best in the world, CM Punk.
Damn it. All right, 3 for 4 so far.
He rolled up, fun fact, he rolled up CM Punk, got the 3 count, and right as when he heard the 3 count, Randy Orton went into the ring, and Kofi Kingston saw it coming, and he hit him with a Trouble in Paradise and won the match.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Now that you're saying that, I remember.
Yeah, because I thought there was only one men's and one women's, but when I looked back, it's a good thing I looked back, because there was also Team Miz versus Team Morrison, which it looks like this was after Miz and Morrison broke up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so you're 3 for 4 so far, but don't worry, I've had a lot of 4 out of 5
all right
episodes. So you can add yourself to that list of 4 out of 5, which is a very good list to be on. That means you have mostly got the questions correct.
Okay.
And no matter what, if this makes it any better, you have beat Dudes at Ringside and Papa Dank and Brandon Danker at the trivia. So
that doesn't really make me feel very good about myself, but okay. I guess thanks.
VPW Before the Storm 2020. Who did Absolute Brand verse?
It had to be some version of Pretty Likeable. Because I know for a while they wrestled the Stevens, but then Collins was in there. It had to be some version of them of Pretty Likeable. That's my final answer.
I'm thinking. That's hard. Do I accept that answer?
Of course you do. They use the Freebird rule.
How about this? No, they did not. I will give you this though. You have 3.5 points so far. If you can name me the combination of Pretty Likeable, I will give you the 4th point.
It was Pretty Boy, Johnny Collins, and Steve Somerset.
Final answer?
Yep.
You got the 4. You did it. It was Collins and Somerset. I do not know where Azure was. That was actually
those bastards kicked me in my balls.
They actually. What was cool about that match was that Somerset actually brought out a cool attire for that match. It was like an old like 90s theme of the attire. I think that was like one of his first attire designs, something like that.
We won the match. I don't care.
It was. I actually did think at one point that they were going to win, but then I was like, then it was like Andre came back or whatever. I think they took out Andre first, and then Andre was in the backfield most of the match, and then he came back out and helped Alvin out and won the match.
Yes, absolutely. We did win that match. Can't take that away from us. It's in the books.
You can't change history.
Nope.
You can't. You just can't.
Absolutely not.
But with that trivia ending, you got 4 out of 5. Really good job, Silky.
I'll take 4 out of 5. That's great. That's 80%. That's 80%.
That's 80%. Hey, in school, that's passing grade.
Yep.
So, with that being said, Silky, I want to thank you for coming on to Dusting Off the Ropes, answering the questions, and
my pleasure.
Being just such a great manager at VPW. Well, keep it up.
We got to make sure we got to plug the show, man. Disorderly Conduct, November 19th, Bayshore, New York. You got to be there. It's the last show of the year. I think everybody's gonna just pull out all the stops. It's gonna be we always put on a great show, but if this is gonna be the last show of the year, some crazy shit might happen, man. You guys got to be there.
Again, like I said before, with professional wrestling, and and also including Victory Pro Wrestling, especially Victory Pro Wrestling, you never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. So
absolutely,
go to that show. November 19th, Bayshore, Victory Pro Wrestling presents Disorderly Conduct. Silky, I think you have... Did you open up? Yeah, you have a social media. Do you want to plug that? Or no?
No, I got enough.
All right, it's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Keep looking up Silky Smooth. You won't find it.
You won't find me. You might find me. It depends.
You might. But also... earlier on in the episode, if you want some of this guys, if you want the coffee mug that you was just
the coffee mug, the t-shirt, victoryprowrestling.com, you got to check it out.
Definitely. And to those who are in the chat right now, and to those who are in the future and looking back on this episode, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this episode. And make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe today. And and also follow me on Instagram if you want to know who's going to be on the next episode of Dusting Off the Ropes. And if you want to look back on Dusting Off the Ropes episodes, there is a playlist, which I got to update, but there is a playlist where you could just keep binge watching Dusting Off the Ropes episodes. Some really fun and cool episodes. Another fun and cool episode just happened, so make sure to tune into other episodes, tune into the future episodes, rewatch this episode a couple times.
Yeah, rewatch this episode. Get the kids some likes. What's wrong with you people?
You heard the man.
Come on.
Stop
by the merch table next show too. Buy an 8x10, or don't just come over to say hello. Come over with your wallet.
Money,
bastards. Pimp's got to eat too, man. Jesus Christ.
Before we go, Papa Dank says Silky is on the naughty list. It's not Christmas yet, Dank. Let's get through Thanksgiving
first. Did he spell my name right that time?
He actually did.
But he spelled naughty right though.
Yeah.
God damn it, Dank.
Dank.
The sad part is he's not a bad guy. He's obviously a good parent. He's very good at promoting himself. He's just I cheated checkers? Listen, jackass, I play chess. Checkers are for children. God. Let's wrap this up, Ryan. I can't, man. I can't. We got to get you your own table. We'll set you up right next to, let's see, what's that? Beyond Respect the Craft. We'll get him a table.
Damn.
What's that other guy that showed up last show? What's his name? Ace Field?
Yes.
We'll get him a table. He has the table. We'll set up a whole murderer's row of podcasts. I hope we don't run out of tables before the Dank Squad shows up. You might need to get yourself another ride. I mean, they can sit on the floor.
Well, they have their own chairs. They bring their own chairs.
Oh, do they? Oh, they do have their own chairs, which they sit on so no one can see that they're promoting themselves because their asses are in the way. What do I do now? I cheated checkers. That's great. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Check out Pro Wrestling Tees for everybody from Kane Industries. Have a good night.
All righty. And again, thank you for tuning in, everybody. And I'll see you next time on Dusting Off the Ropes.